Okay, so today's question is, should I write characters that are exactly like me? I know that there's a really popular trend among authors and writers to write characters, especially main characters, that are very autobiographical in that, may reflect on your own past or different experiences you've been through, or just that have a lot of tendencies and characteristics that are really similar to the way that you think and feel and act. And you may have heard me talk about when I was developing my character Allie, my first book, Interrupted. Allie was a lot like me. We have a lot of the same personality quirks and the way that we think about things, the way we relate to people. And so I think that that made the book strong in that I could write about someone that I related to. But I don't think that your characters necessarily have to be exactly like you. I think that you should be able to understand them and be able to relate to them and what they're going through. Like I usually write about teenage girls because I am a teenage girl. I know what it's like to be a teenage girl. I know how we think and how we feel and how we act. And so it's really easy for me to get into that type of character. But that doesn't necessarily mean that all my characters are going to have the same social tendencies that I have, or be introverts when I'm, not as introverted, or be extroverted when I'm more introverted. It doesn't have to be the exact same that I am. Not every character has to have all of my quality traits. I can create a character who's shy and who doesn't like talking to people and who all these different things that I don't relate to. But since we both have the same basic, we're both teenage girls, we both understand what it means to have friends and friendship and sadness and love and happiness and all those different things. I think you have to be able to connect to your character on that deeper level. And that if you understand them on that deeper level, it doesn't matter if they like to paint and you can't draw a stick figure to save your life, or it doesn't matter if they're really smart at a certain subject that you fail miserably at. Stuff like that isn't necessarily as important. You can do research and you can find out what it would be like to have those gifts and abilities. But what it comes down to is the heart. Are their desires things that you can relate to and things that you understand? And if that's true, if you understand their heart and their desires, then your characters will be strong because you will be able to relate to them even if they're not exactly like you. So hopefully that'll answer the question. And whether or not you decide to make your characters autobiographical is your own choice. It works sometimes, it doesn't work sometimes. So just figure it out on yourself, figure out what works for you and what you're comfortable doing, and do your best to create those strong, dynamic characters that you can relate to, because that's when your story will definitely be its strongest.